My name is Gabriel and I'm from Nativity Church. I also belong to a young adults community called Emmaus Walk. Well, we are a community when we were youth, and now that we are young adults. So actually it goes back all the way to 2008 when we decided to continue our faith journey as a youth. Then we became a young adult, and now we are all adults. We meet every Friday night. What we do is we have usually sometimes we have praise and worship, and then we will break the word, and then we will have some reflection questions. But sometimes we have a monthly formation, monthly series. So depending on what series we have, and then we will have sharing questions and we will have sharings. Yeah, for me, growing up in this community, it has helped me in my, firstly, my faith, so that with others I can know more about my faith in Jesus. And also at the same time, when we grow up, we also learn new things, especially in today's world. We have more situations, more challenging situations, and we could just share, have a safe place to share. And also what helps is that we also have WhatsApp cell group, and we can, when we need prayers and we need some immediate attention to certain things, so we will send over WhatsApp, and then we can pray for each other. At the same time, also we can also grow together by our sharings, and then we have this thing called grounding after our sharing, where we can just share about what the things that will come during the week that we need more prayers and more commitment to for the week. That's what we do. For us to have a safe place in a community, it is important for us to that whatever we share in the sharing group stays in the sharing group, and of course we respect one another. We have this thing where we don't do any cross talking, because if we cross talk, then it will lead to off topics, so respect when someone is sharing. And I guess for us to really how we know that another person hears each other is we identify, or if there's a need to identify, or and what that person could have impacted on what I was feeling. Some people just come to our sharing group without any thoughts of sharing, but after listening to another, they can identify and they share what they identify, and then they share. So I think for that, in that sense, whatever stays in the sharing group is the most important, and then therefore we be more willing to share. We be more willing to give it to others, in that sense. Yes, I believe that sharing helps to cultivate friendship as well. I also think that it helps us to know each other better. Like whatever situation. I think now, because of my community, we have a lot of parents, a lot of family, and a lot of children as well, right? This stage. When I hear another parent had that same struggle, I can really identify. Or then I will ask, as a friend, actually, how you manage these things? How do you manage your in-laws, for example? So I speak a few things, and I just able to learn from that experience. Yeah. For us, in our community, we were actually friends first. And then, of course, when we gathered together, we had more new people, and then we had to build friendship with them. It is important for us to always continue to support each other. So I think when we support, when we hear each other, that creates a different kind of friendship. In fact, what we call, we hope to achieve authentic relationships with each other. But of course, sometimes we have people who get upset with each other, and I think this is all part and parcel of in community. But I think the most important is that we are able to update one another about our life and about our own families and our own work, and therefore we can, from these sharings, we learn about each other. And also it can be outside of the community where we still keep in touch in WhatsApp chat group. We still come for gatherings of baby's baptism and somebody's wedding, etc. So that's how we continue to build this friendship together. In our community, we have this practice of checking in before we come into the place. When we check in how we feel at that moment, and probably we will say what is one God experience we have experienced this week, or one thing that we are grateful for, and that helps us to just be present. I think that is important when we are a bit, of course after Friday nights are tough for some of the working people, when they just come and they just want to just chill, but they have to continue to be present to one another. I think that's important, to just really state where we are at, and from there we will know each other at what state we are at, and as we go for our sharings and we continue to build on that feeling, when we and therefore when we share, we also show love by giving that support and prayer to each other. Because I think the main part of our sharings is the prayers that we offer all these struggles to God at the end after our sharings. Yes. For me, authentic friendship is communication, and I think how we communicate one another, that we can be very truthful and honest, and also that we can share anything with each other. But of course, the friendship has to be saved, so they have to be a safe environment so that the other person will want to share. Yeah, so that's one of the crucial things for me. During sharings, we have when we want to share something deep, we call this bringing to light, where we whatever that is kept in darkness, bring forward to the light, which is to share. So of course, for example, if something is really bothering us and we can't share it with our colleagues or our family members, we do it with our community, we bring it to light. And when someone does that, everyone treats with respect, that this person wants to share about something that's really bothering. But of course, it's not really like dumping, like when you share but there's no solution to that problem. But the important thing about bringing to light is that the darkness, and no one can hold us back, in that sense that it's not, it's the thing about bringing to light is that the darkness can no longer hold that secret. Yeah. So when it's in the light, it is also meant for God to take over. Yeah. So that's what we believe, and of course, in the community, we help one another. After, when we bring to light, we show love to them as well. Yeah. When someone shares that, it challenges me to want to identify and also to consider some of the things that I feel the parallel situation, and I want to work on that as well. For me, I have experienced authentic friendship from this community when we do sharing, we do even some prayer activities together. For us, growing up as a community, we have all different things that we do, like helping out the youths in our parish, and when we pray for them, or when we, and then in the community we would come together and we do novenas for the event, for the youth event, or for our, let's say in our community, when someone is getting married, we do a 9-day novena for one of our community members. And so I feel there's this authentic love that I feel in this community, which is why I'm committed to it, and why it keeps me going in this community. And actually we all decided that we want to do this for life. If faith is lived by one person alone is definitely not enough. It has to be other-centered. It has to be shared. So I feel in the community, when someone shares, and I can be not be not in a good place, but when I heard someone is having a similar feeling, and I identify the person, then we can work together. So I feel that in the community, what motivates me is looking at others going towards Jesus, and it motivates me to also go towards Jesus, even though I'm not at the best place. And what is important is also that we are gentle with one another, and that we meet each other where we are at, because we all come from different workplace and different family backgrounds, but to support one another. But we all have the same goal, which is to go towards Jesus and to ultimately share His love for us and for others. For me, how I integrate my community to my everyday life, it will be because definitely my outside friends and my family members are not in community, so they don't know what the community disciplines are. So when I'm outside, I learn how to hold back my tongue, or I know how to check in how I feel at the moment. And if I can, I just take my handphone and I just if I need to, I take my handphone, I just WhatsApp my cell group. We all have different cell groups. So to just check in and to see and to share where we are at. Yeah, so as we share our feelings, and then we also share what we want to do and what we want to commit after our sharing. Like for example, I would say I'm angry at this person, but I commit to apologize to that person because this person has challenged me and I didn't like it. So I would commit to say I will take this action, I will take this step to apologize or to do something about it. I think it's important for everyone to be in community, because if we live our faith alone, we will definitely die alone. And being in the community helps us to share, and of course have the safe place to share our struggles. And I think the main aim is to always grow towards Christ. And if we don't have a place to talk about, where else can we talk about? I mean, now with all the phones and many distractions and many TV shows, we forget to also have the human interaction to come. Like coming to Mass, we come as a big congregation. It's also important to have the opportunity to share in the community and in the cell group. Well, of course, I would like to encourage everyone who are also struggling in community to also recognize that at the end of the day, being in the community helps everyone. It's other-centered, and the focus has to be always Jesus. And of course, in every community, we have also an opportunity to practice our Christian virtues. For example, patience, compassion, etc. So of course, we'll be tested. It will be difficult being in community because you are so vulnerable and you're sharing so much. But I want to encourage you to stay at those together as a community. As you share, Jesus is also listening to your sharing as you share all your struggles. And most importantly is to stick with that feeling and to really persevere this, because this is a journey, and of course Jesus will meet you in every journey. So as much as you struggle, I think struggles are good because it challenges you to live more authentically and more genuine with one another. So those of the people who struggle, I can understand, because I struggle all the time as well. Hi, I'm Gabriel. If you'd like to hear many more stories and all these heartfelt sharings, go on to stories.catholic.sg.